Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday Morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, we've got stock index futures going in one direction while commodities are going in the other direction. And a lot of that has to do with some global tension, some stuff going on in Russia over the weekend. And that is certainly putting a damper on the stock market. But the Canadian market might do quite well on Monday. Now, we have some economic numbers coming out today, nothing in the pre market. We do have the Fed chairman speaking this afternoon. A similar situation tomorrow morning, nothing in the pre market. Now, looking at the VIX, and then we look at the seasonality of the VIX, we usually get some selling into the end of May, and then we get some buying in the VIX into the middle of June. So, wouldn't be surprised to see the VIX go up and the stock market to go down right now. If we look at who's in control, you can see that the pros have not taken control just yet for the S&P 500, the VIX for the Nasdaq, or the VIX for the Russell 2000. Looks like the VIX for the Russell 2000 is going to go first. And of course, if the pros start picking up options, that would indicate that they're concerned about the direction of the stock market and want to hedge their stock positions. And that's what we'll be watching for, and we expect that to happen sometime in the next few days. Now, moving on to the major index ETFs, starting off with the iShares for the TSX 60. We put in a new all-time high on Thursday and came back down on Friday. Looking for a close below $39.18 on Monday for the Vanguard Canada ETF, also making a new high on Thursday, looking for a close below $53.15. Now, the U.S. market does look a lot different. We're not up making new all-time highs at the moment. A lot of the gains in May were made off this gap higher. And you can see once we gapped higher, we certainly traded higher for a couple of days, but we actually ended the month right at where we gapped higher. So, not a lot of enthusiasm for the US market at the moment. And I think a lot of the buying that we've seen recently had a lot to do with anticipating NVIDIA's earnings. So, we may see a sell signal in the Dow Diamonds on Monday. And you can see that our next price target line is 414.06, and that's where the bottom of that gap lines up. So if we start breaking down below that level, that's not going to be a good sign for the overall market. Now, the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY, we're looking for a close below $518.91 on Monday. We're really trying to break out above resistance at 593.75. And of course, after that, we'd expect to move up to the $600 level, but we're certainly not heading in that direction in the pre-market on Monday. Looking at the NASDAQ 100 ETF, we're looking for a close below $511.80 on Monday to give us a sell signal. And we'd certainly be more concerned about the market if we started breaking down below $500. That would take us down into that open gap that was created in the early part of May. Now, looking at the equal weighted NASDAQ, you can see that after we gapped higher, we ran up to the 131.25 level and have been treading water ever since. And looking at the next generation NASDAQ, we're trying to break out above 31.25. We're not heading in that direction on Monday. And for the iShares for the Russell 2000, you can see we dipped down to the $200 level a couple of days ago, and we're going to be looking to see if we can still hold that level. And of course, if you look up, our next price target is 212.50. Now, looking at the bond market coming into the end of May, bonds started to move up, bond yields started to move down. That is certainly supportive for higher stock prices if we can keep that trend going. Looking at commodity ETFs, no joy for gold. If we look across the top of the screen here, you can see we've made a series of lower highs, and now it looks like we may break down. But gold is trading higher in the pre-market, so it'll be interesting to see if we can take out this high from last week. That would certainly be a bullish sign for gold on a more longer-term basis. Looking for a close below $301.65 on Monday. Again, we're trading higher in the pre-market, so I'm not expecting that to happen, and not expecting a sell signal in silver on Monday as well. We did trade down to the lower channel line on Friday, but we are trading higher in the pre-market. Now, crude oil is also trading higher in the pre-market this morning, and gasoline, which has been trending lower over the past week, which is good for summer travel, but it may be ticking up on Monday with the crude oil prices moving higher. And no joy for natural gas at the moment. It's holding the recent low, had an inside day on Friday. We'll have to see if we can start to move up this week. Then looking at the TSX most actives and looking at Whitecap, we're looking for a close on Monday below $8.53. With crude oil trading higher, we're not expecting that to happen. Alamos Gold, again, we're sitting right on the edge of a new sell signal, but gold is trading higher. And then no change for Discovery Silver. Then looking at Suncor, treading water right now, expecting it to trade higher on Monday. And then no change for Air Canada expected on Monday. We had a bullish reversal signal for Brookfield on Friday, and we'll have to see if we can trade higher on Monday. No joy for Ivanhoe. Then looking at Cenovus, we actually ended Friday on a sell signal. We were looking for a close below 1834. We closed at 1808. I would check Cenovus at the open and see if it's trading higher before I put in that sell order. You might want to sit on that and wait for the next close below the lower channel line. Then looking at Manulife, we're looking for a close on Monday above $43.90 to give us a new buy signal. And then for Enbridge, there's a new buy signal as of Friday's close. Let's finish off this morning's presentation taking a look at the U.S. most active, starting with NVIDIA. We peaked on Thursday with a bearish reversal day, saw fall through to the downside on Friday, and on Monday we're looking for a close below $131.52. No joy for Lucid on Friday. Looking at Palantir, we're looking for a close below $121.63. Then for Ford, we're looking for a close above $10.52 to give us a new buy signal. Looking at Tesla, looking for a close below $338.19 on Monday to give us a sell signal. No joy for Intel, making a new low for this move. Then we've got Viatris. It's still on a buy signal here, but no fall through to the upside on Friday. A close below $8.47 on Monday would give us a new sell signal. No joy for Apple, looking for a close above $204.48 on Monday. Then for Warner Brothers, we're looking for a close below $11.14 to give us a new sell signal. For Bank of America, we need a close on Monday below $43.36 to give us a sell signal. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we are going to see some selling in the overall stock market at the open on Monday morning. Canadian market might do a little better with both gold and crude oil trading higher in the pre-market on Monday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.